Hello guys, welcome to another video. First of all, I said that this story doesn't belong to me. So if you want to read the full story for yourself, then go down in the description to find the link to the original post and read the full story for yourself. That being said, let's get into the video. Naruto The Ninjutsu Prodigy, Chapter 12 and Part 12, The Counter Strategy. Naruto and Jiraiya had gotten the word from the spy network that Orochimaru was in process of getting ready for an invasion for the Hidden Leaf village, and Naruto had the perfect plan to keep the third from sacrificing himself to stop him from succeeding. And Naruto knew that Orochimaru would be coming back to get his revenge and to obtain the Sharingan eyes. However, what Orochimaru didn't count for was a secret task force of Uzumaki clan members with the acknowledgement of how to remove the curse mark and reverse the Edo Tensei Jutsu. Why would Orochimaru be surprised when he found out that it wasn't the real it wasn't the real Hiruzen Sarutobi he would be trapping, but rather his own uh, real Hiruzen Sarutobi he would be trapping, but rather his own death. The plan was simple. Naruto would pose as the third Hokage, and when Orochimaru triggered his invasion, Naruto would reveal himself in his Anbu Black Ops marks. Kushina was against the idea, but she knew that Naruto was far too much like his father to let someone else to close to him die for the village. Naruto then said, "So the way I see it, Orochimaru will be using the one-tailed Jinchuriki to bring down the village. I will have two shadow clones on standby to use my chakra chains and would release to subdue the one-tailed and keep it from destroying everything, while the real me disguises as the disguised as you watch as Orochimaru disguised as the Kage race from the Kage box. Once he thinks he's gotten the third Hokage trapped within his barrier, I will reveal myself and kill him before he can use the Edo Tensei Jutsu. If he manages to use it before I can get close enough to kill him, well, let's just say I have done my research in the Uzumaki clan archives for a weakness and I found one, but I can't share it with you. Clan laws prohibits me from doing so. Plus, I don't trust you to keep it a secret from the council. And Hiruzen said, "And why am I excluded from knowing this secret, Naruto? I am the Hokage. If you know something, you must tell me. I am your superior. Other than Jiraiya and Tsunade, I outranked you. Oh, yeah. So." But the Uzumaki clan never fully trusted Konoha, did they? Your clan was very formidable in the war and politics, and still is apparently. And Naruto said, "It's not a matter of why I don't want to trust you with what I know. It's more a matter of what gratitude do I have. You wouldn't what matter of what guarantee do I have you wouldn't let it fall into the wrong hands, particularly the village council." And Hiruzen said, "You really don't trust them, do you, Naruto? Very well. If you do not want to share it with me willingly, I can always have Ibiki Morino get the information from you." And Naruto, good luck with that one, old man. The thing he's seen me do to people like Danzo Shimura would have you nightmares for weeks. Didn't you ever wonder why he's not the one torturing people anymore? It's because I have done things to prisoners that would make your screen stand up on the back of your neck. That's things that would make even the Sharingan wet. Shinigami that even the Shinigami wet his unholy cloak. and run to the almighty creator God. Hiruzen then went pale white with fear in his eyes. He couldn't believe Naruto would do such horrible things to prisoners. Granted, they deserve it, but still, to torture someone to the point it makes the dead god like a scared little schoolgirl, it was unheard of. But he believed Naruto either way. Well, he had actually made Ibiki, Morino, and Uncle Mitarashi look sane, and not even Inochi Yamanaka could do that. Naruto then said, "So, what do you think, old man? Should I take your plan in the Kage box, take your place in the Kage box, or will you handle Orochimaru yourself?" And Hiruzen said, "You are sure you can pull this off, Naruto? I don't want to think about what your family think. I don't want to think about what your family, especially your mother, would do to me if you got killed. I would never be able to forgive myself." And Naruto said, "Don't worry, old man, I have got it all figured out already. I am already 10 steps ahead of Orochimaru as we speak." And Hiruzen said, "I'm sorry, Naruto, but I cannot allow you to do this. One life isn't worth saving if it is for the sake of the village and protecting its people. Orochimaru was my past mistake. I will deal with him myself, and if I need your assistance, I always have the Hiraishin kunai that you gave me. I wouldn't use the River Death Seal, I promise." Naruto sighed in defeat and said, "Fine, old man, have it your way, but I expect you to keep that promise. Keep him busy as long for you to get there as keep him busy long enough for me to get there, and when I arrive, his ass is all mine. I will kill him, bring his ass back to life, and the Edo Tensei, and then kill him all over again. I will kill him, bring his ass back to life with Edo Tensei, and kill him all over again, repeatedly. I might add." How now Hiruzen usually never felt fear from anyone else, especially Orochimaru, but now he felt sorry for whatever it was that Orochimaru they did, or a lack of tear for to piece of the yellow lightning fox. But he knew that whether it is Naruto, he held a he it is Naruto held a huge grudge against the snake Sanin for, and anyone who's familiar with the yellow lightning fox knows that if you pissed him off, you have been marked for death. And Hiruze then said, "And just why exactly is it that you want to be the one to kill Orochimaru for Naruto? Whether he has what has he ever done to you?" And Naruto said he tried to get his slimy hands on Uzumaki clan bloodline abilities to use chakra chains. He almost succeeded in taking Karin. Uzumaki had Jinchuriki, and had Jiraiya, and I not showed up before him, he probably would have succeeded. And now he's after Sasuke Uchiha. I know about Itachi's illness. If he dies, then Sasuke Uchiha is an easy target for him. I want Sasuke under 24-hour watch and lived less as flight risk, labeled as a potential flight risk for the village. And Hiruzen said, "You proved many good points, Naruto, very well. I will have Kakashi constantly monitoring his mental condition, and if he deems a flight risk, then flight risk, then I shall label him as one, and he wouldn't be able to leave the village for any missions above a D rank. You are dismissed." Naruto then saluted the Hokage and went back to the house to get his things for Sakura and Hinata's training. He was going to train them in weapons. For Sakura, it was a war hammer. And for Hinata it was a bow and a set of arrows. Naruto had then shown up just as Sakura and Hinata entered the training ground, and when they saw Naruto carrying weapons with them, they knew that their training had just been taken to a whole new level. Sakura then said, "Sensei, what are those weapons for? Please don't tell me we are not training with those weapons now." And Naruto said, That's exactly what we are working on today, ladies. For Hinata, a bow and arrows, along with your Bakugans, this is probably your most deadly weapon. And for Sakura, a war hammer." And Sakura then went to pick up the hammer and realized that for as heavy as it looked, she was able to pick it up quite easily. She then asked, "Naruto Sensei, why does this feel so lightweighted to me if it looks so feelingly heavy?" And Naruto says, "Because Sakura, those are gravity seals that responded to your chakra and only yours. If any other person was to try and pick that up, they wouldn't be able to. It is a fail safe I had put in place." Hinata then tried to use her bow without any arrows and realized that that string was made of chakra containing wire. She then released the arrow and watched as it sliced right through a stone wall. Naruto then said, "Careful with that, Hinata. The bow is quite unique and special because it draws on your chakra." Naruto nature chakra nature and creates an arrow out of draws on your chakra nature and creates an arrow out of your chakra when you run out of arrow in your quiver. Sakura, by channeling your fire element into a hammer and slamming it into the ground, you can create a miniature volcano eruption that burns your enemies alive. The more chakra you use, the hotter the fire becomes. These weapons abilities are only to be used at a last resort. Last result. Am I clear? Hinata and Sakura then nodded their heads yes as Naruto then stepped up a bunch of moving targets, set up a bunch of moving targets for Hinata and steadily targets for Sakura. Naruto then said, "Alright, girls, I want you to practice with your weapons, Sakura. Those are 12 inches thick chakra metal training dummies, so I want you to do as much damage as possible. Use all of your strength behind the force of swing to ensure its moment for a large impact. Hinata, I want you to train hitting those targets without using your back gun. It lets you see farther, yes, but if the enemy is 3 feet in front of you, you are not going to be needing it for an enemy that close. Those targets are all 3 feet away exactly. Once you have hit them without your Bakugan, then I shall increase the distance to 6 feet, always 6 feet away, and then 9, 10, 12, and then 15, and so on and so forth. I want to see just how far your natural eyesight can go without your Bakugan helping you become too reliable on it, and you will go blind like the Uchiha with the Sharingan from overusing it. Maybe not permanently, but just long enough that the enemy would kill you. Train all of your senses to master your weapon. Good luck." Naruto then watched as Sakura swung her war hammer as hard as possible into one of the training dummies and made a 6-inch deep dent in the first one and its rib cage. He then observed as Hinata fired on arrow out another drawn range without her back one and was having trouble, so he decided to help her and said, "Here, Hinata-chan, your strength is off and you're so focused on the target you forgot to breathe. Archery is a form of marksmanship skills. Watch me." Hinata then watched as Naruto stood stood with his legs prepared evenly apart and his arms perfectly aligned with each other. She then watched as he took a deep breath in and held the arrow in place while focusing on the target. Naruto then exhaled as he released the arrow and it flew down the range and with a loud crunch, penetrating the target. He then did the same thing in a rapid session and without him moving an inch or changing his moving an inch or changing his foot, hitting every single target. And he then lowered the bow and channeled it back to the bow and handed it back to Hinata and said, "See, it's that easy. However, you must work continuously on these skills in your spare time to master them. Remember, deep breaths in, hold it steady, and release as you fire the arrow. Give it a try." Kakashi was once again spying on Naruto's training session with Hinata and Sakura and couldn't believe that they had already advanced to weapon training. Kakashi then thought to himself, that should be me teaching them how to do that. But still, where did he get those weapons? It's not like he's got a secret armory full of them, does he? Even still, if anything, Sakura deserves that kind of training, not them. If anything, Sasuke deserves that kind of training, not them. He's a real prodigy on the team. I better get out of here before shit. Naruto then appeared behind Kakashi and said, "Hello, Kakashi, spying on me on my students again, are we? Have you not learned what I do to people who don't learn their lesson? They either end up dead or in a physical in the hospital. Which would you prefer to have me do to you?" Naruto then began channeling charging up a Chidori flash in his left hand as he training Kakashi, as if daring Kakashi to make a move. As Kakashi activated his own Chidori and said, I still never got to ask you how you managed to change the color of the lightning chakra from blue to yellow. It is the one thing about my Chidori I couldn't figure out how to do. Will you tell me?" And Naruto said in a tone of voice that promised a slow and painful electric shock, "No, I wouldn't tell you how. You are supposed to be genius. You are a supposed genius, Kakashi. Figure it out by yourself. Now leave unless you want to find out just what exactly happened to Danzo Shimura during his interrogation. In a manner of speaking, you could smell the skin burning of his flesh and see his brain starting to shut down from the overhead of electricity impulse being sent through his body as every nerve shut down and all his muscles stopped working. I broke the old war hawk, and if you don't stop spying on me and the girls training, I will do even worse to you as well." Kakashi couldn't tell that Naruto was serious. Couldn't tell that Naruto was serious about carrying out his threat and never went back on his word. Uh, Kakashi could tell that Naruto was serious about carrying out his threat and never went back on his word. However, as much as Kakashi wanted to know the secret to performing his Chidori and Lightning Blade, he knew Naruto wouldn't tell him either way. So, not wasting any more time, he left back to training field while he was training Sasuke Uchiha. Kakashi didn't get an idea, however, and that idea was to teach Sasuke Kenjutsu. Whether or not Sasuke could actually consider learning something as complex as that was debatable. But hey, It's not like he's going to have his father chakra saber fixed and give it to Sasuke up to use, right? Wrong, because that's exactly what he planned on doing for Sasuke's next training session. Since Kakashi had no real reason to use it at all, he may as well get some good use of it with Sasuke. Little did Kakashi know what what he is about to do would be the biggest mistake of his life, even bigger than killing his best friend Rin Nohara. He would soon have a type of regret unlike any other, and would be scalded by everyone, including the Hokage and the Anbu in the village for it. He would soon become a laughing stock in Konoha, and no amount of shame and humiliation would go unnoticed. So Kakashi is really goddamn getting the boot in this story. But what to do? That's all for this video. I have to see you in the next one. Bye bye.